we have talked about who you are. We've talked about who the voice is. We've talked about how to think about yourself. So now in this video, I suppose, let's start talking about how we can actively change. What are the active steps that we can take in our life currently today, right now, right after you get done watching this video, or even while you are watching this video, to ensure success in your life? And we'll have a discussion in a later video about what success is and what success means to you, and why you need to have values and limitations and boundaries on your life and principles to achieve those goals that you have, aka success, your version of that. And why that is important, because when you get up, all your actions need to follow in that sense. And when they don't follow in that sense, we're going to find out what happens in today's video. So, active steps to determining how we can change. What I mean by this is that everything can be, when we look from an active standpoint, when we ask the question, how can we change? Everything boils down to who you are and how you view yourself, okay? If you believe that you are a person to get straight A's in school, then you most likely will be performing at or better than average, or as opposed to somebody who doesn't believe that they are good at school. Okay? We need to agree on that. We need to if you have any banter, please leave it in the comment section and we can hash it out. But we need to understand that the image of the self, your ego, if you will, derives your actions. That's where your actions are derived from. Because if you believe you are something, you are that thing, okay? Remember how we talked about in the last video about who are you? When we discussed about, the candle analogy, love it. But yeah, it was horrible. But the candle analogy, I am seeing, therefore I am not. I experience, right? You are the experiencer, you are consciousness, all of that jazz. But consider for a moment that there's a layer to all of this. There's a layer, there's a physical layer. Because we are in, there's layers. We have, our physical body, we have our mind, and we have our spiritual level to us as well. So we kind of chopped away at the spiritual level. Now let's get over into our mind a little bit. Let's start bringing it down. Let's get into our mind a little bit and discuss who you think you are. And remember, in the last video we discussed about who you are. Okay, we answered that question. Now you know who you are. So now let's talk about why you think you are what you are. Okay? Because that's going to answer the question of how you handle yourself every day. If you believe that you are consciousness, if you believe that you are awareness, then a lot of things are going to come easy for you. Life's going to come easy for you. You're not going to associate yourself with past experiences, troubles, and tribulations. You're just not. It's gonna be easier for you. But if you discover that you are somebody, or you believe that you are somebody who just struggles in life, if you tell yourself, for example, let me tell you, if you flunk a test, the healthy way to go about it is to say, I flunked that examination. The unhealthy way is saying, I am a failure. Oh, shaking the camera. You see what I'm saying? Not, I ran track and field in college, so it was always numbers. It was always a numbers game. If you didn't win, you didn't win, right? So there was a lot of races I got cooked, right? right? I lost a lot of races. So, what can I say to that point? I could have sat back and said, I am a failure. I am slow. I am blank. I am blank. Okay? There are times I did that. And there are periods in my athletic performance when I go back and meditate on this and realize my past life that, wow, there were periods in my athletic performance life where I did ran crappy because I perceived myself to be subpar. I perceived myself to be the slow guy. Because, I would check the heat sheets and everything, and I would be like, yeah, I'm getting cooked today, right? I would consider myself no other way about it. I would say to myself that I am the loser in today's race. And if you tell yourself that in your life, if you go about your day, if you are a salesman and you go about your day and you go into the office, clinic, what have you, in order to try and sell your product, or if you are a real estate agent or something of that nature, and you tell yourself, this is going to be a hard day today. This is going to be a hard sell. But I know that I am a salesman. I know that I have this excellent track record. I know that I have the ability of what it takes to be a successful person in my life, whatever your definition of that will be. We're covering that in a later video. So you need to start identifying with the aspects and parts of your life that bring you the happiness and that bring you the success, okay? And if you're going to sit there and tell me right now that you are mumbling, groaning, and complaining about how you haven't done anything successful, I'm going to ask you a question. Can you tie your shoes? Can you drive a vehicle? Can you ride a bike? Can you speak? Can you read? Okay? Can you do any of those things? If you can, think back to the time when you learned how to do said thing. And try your hardest. Really go back in time and really meditate and really try your hardest to remember that moment. And we're going to talk about, we got a lot to talk about. Channel's just starting. Take a journal or something and write it down. Remember that moment. I have a part in my journal. It says happy memories. And I just keep my happy memories in there, and I literally just write them down. I write the year beside of them, and then I have just a short synopsis. Nothing much, just a couple of lines, because I know I'm gonna snap back to it when I start reading it, right? Because there's something about the articulation and the writing of our language from our mind to the page, closing it up and calling it a day, revisit it every day. And and that's how you start flooding yourself with success and flooding yourself with this new self-image that we're talking about. Self-image, the image of the self, who you believe you are. You're going to behave in that manner, okay? I see time and time again, kids, I just graduated college, so I'll see, I saw classmates who would come to class with their head down saying, yeah, I'm not going to get an A on this test. I'm just not. Why? If you, let's break it down. If you believe that you are not going to get an A on this exam, what behaviors are going to mimic of a person that's not going to get an A on the exam? Well, if I articulate that I probably and or won't get an A on this exam, then what are my actions going to be? I'm probably not going to study that much because I'm not going to get an A anyway. So what is the use in wasting effort towards something that won't derive the result? Okay, fair enough. I mean, if you are somebody who is not going to get an A on an exam, you know, why put forth the effort? If that truly is an impossible task, if that truly is something that you are 100% incapable of, despite effort, despite trials, despite everything, if you tell yourself you're incapable of it or that it is a challenge to you, then it will be a challenge. Okay? Remember that our subconscious mind is like this radar system, this let's call it a radar system, because what you believe you are is energy, right? Remember earlier in the videos we said everything is energy. So this is energy as well. Your subconscious mind is energy, and it is a system. However, it is a programmable system. It is that radar system, okay? But it is programmable, and it is controlled by your conscious mind, your everyday living. That is how you program it. Okay? So, if we're considering it from that sense, from the sense that our subconscious mind is in fact a computer program, it is. We can program it, we can teach ourselves anything, right? We're really cool people like that. we're the only things that walk this earth that have awareness and consciousness like that. It is mint. It is excellent, I must say. So, noticing that this is the radar system that we have, right? Let's program it. Okay, I told you how we program it. I just told you the answer a second ago. We program it through our experiences, what we intake. Okay, me talking to this camera, it has some influence on my life. It has some aspect in my brain that I am communicating to a camera right now in hopes to reach a greater audience, in hopes to change one person's life, to make one person smile. And if I can do that, I'm happy. And putting this video out into the ether makes me happy, because that gives it the possibility, the chance, and that stirs my creative aspect in my creative mind. And every single one of us is creative because you are human. You are creative. You need to create. You need to build. Okay? That's crucial. So, if I want to program my subconscious mind, I'm going to first start with saying, who do I want to become? Right? The image of the self. Going back to it, stay with me. The image of the self. Who do I want to become? Program it into your mind. Journal. Write it down. Say, it can be really broad. I remember the first time I did it, I was like, I want to be successful. And then I was like, well, you just can't. That's too broad of an explanation. My subconscious isn't going to know what to do with that, because I haven't even defined success for myself. Okay, so then I broke it down and I was like, well, I'm broke. I'm young and I'm broke. I want money so that I can live. And so I said, okay, I want financial success. Okay, that makes a little better sense. Okay, let's take it a step further. What else do we want? Well, you want to be happy, right? Yeah, I want to be happy. So, let's write down happiness, the pursuit of happiness. How do we achieve that? Well, I need to understand why I'm here. And you understand where I'm going with this. We can ask question upon question and layer upon layer until we have a positive self-image, okay? A positive self-image that we can pull from to flood our subconscious mind, to program it into the person that we want to be. Guys, it's literally that simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't overcomplicate it. The affirmations, the self-affirmations and stuff is really cool, but you gotta have a plan, okay? I'm a big David Goggins fan. You got the self-affirmation stuff. I believe in that stuff, and I believe that to an effect that you can flood your mind with, remember, the positive memories that we're writing down. If you're having a hard time getting started with this, remember the time you learned how to tie your shoe. I remember when I learned how to do a double knot in my shoelace, I thought I was the coolest thing since sliced bread, right? So, I can remember back to that time, and I can say, oh, I thought I was really cool. I tied my shoe. I learned something. I was creative. I learned something. I expanded my knowledge base, which is what we're supposed to do anyway. So that's why we're feeding our purpose, our general purpose as a human. So going back to feeding the self, feeding the ego of who you want to be. Okay, who do you want to be? And if you have struggle with that, who you want to be, I don't care how old you are. You can be 60, 70 years old watching the video, and you can still change your self-image and change your actions and change your life. Research has shown us multiple times over that the person who believes that they are healthy will generally be healthy. The person who believes that they are not going to get sick probably aren't going to get sick in their life. Why? Because if your self-image is of somebody who does not get sick, your daily actions are going to exhibit somebody who doesn't get sick. What are those actions consist of? Maybe you do research. Maybe you start eating healthy foods. You learn, you absorb things through your conscious mind, and you let it program into your subconscious mind. So all of that information is being downloaded into your subconscious mind, and then you start exhibiting the behaviors of somebody who is healthy, and you see how this is all kind of working together. So that's super important, because if we don't start at that level, then we're never going to get there. You're never going to. Everybody always says that they start a battle with "I can't." You can't start a battle saying that you can't. You're gonna lose every time, every day of the week. You're gonna lose if you wake up saying, "This is gonna be a bad day." You're gonna have a bad day, okay? Because your subconscious mind, the radar system, is going to put out the negative energy. Likeness attracts. Like attracts like. You're going to attract negative energy into your life. Why though? Because you believe that you are the negative energy. You say, I am depressed. I am fearful. I am anxiety. I will not. I cannot. I won't. And then you become that person in your head. Your subconscious mind, the radar system, goes out, attracts that energy into your life, and you start exhibiting the behaviors of somebody who actually won't do it. And you never will. And that's why you will never ever accomplish anything that you want in your life if you tell yourself you can't do it. That's the key. Go in, and if I really hope that this makes sense to you guys, because it's so critical to understand that, because you really won't think about it for a second. Just really think. You think back to a time in your own personal life where you saw somebody that said that they couldn't do something that you were good at. Let's think back to, like, I don't know, like when you were a child, or I don't know, 12, 13 years old, and you just learned to ride a bike or something, and you're riding around town and you see somebody younger than you that is struggling to get off the training wheels maybe, and you're looking at them thinking, I was there too. I was there as well, and look where I am now. And that was my path. What did I do on that path? Well, at some point in my day, during that time frame in my life, I had to say to myself, I'm going to get on this bike and I'm going to learn how to ride, right? You had to become the person who knew how to ride the bike before you even knew how to ride the bike. Okay, that's powerful stuff. You need to hear that again. You need to become I will say it in your terms, because you already have done this, and you need to go back. You need to resort back to the times. Remember, writing down your happy memories, your successful stuff, keeping a log of it if you struggle to have the positivity flowing in your life, because you've done all this stuff. You've done it before. All the answers are inside of you. They always have been. You just, I'm just here to, try to be like, hey, let's get it going. Change your life right now. Let's get it popping right now. There's no point to waste. We get this life one time. It's really special. It's incredible that we're even here experiencing emotion, and it's kind of wild. I'm talking to a camera right now, but all of those things are super important. And why shouldn't you try your best in life? Why shouldn't you wake up every day and say, I've got X amount of days left to live. I'll show you right now in my journal. This is it. What do I got? I got 24,455. Yeah. So 24,455. That's how many days I have left until I turn 90. Okay, I'm 23 right now. So that's kind of wild, right? I try to look at that every day and be like, let's get it going, right? Time's ticking. I'm not, you shouldn't be scared of death or anything, because you should it's okay if you're not to that level of consciousness and awareness yet, but it's important to take the seat of consciousness and say, this is a beautiful life. I am beautiful, and this life is beautiful. So why not make the best of it? Because eventually the suffering isn't going to be here, right? You're not gonna suffer for the rest of your life. So let's get going. Let's get to work. So going back to the image of the self, you had to become the person who rode the bike before you knew how to ride the bike. If you did not become the person that knew how to ride the bike before you knew how to ride the bike, you simply wouldn't have even gotten on the bike. And you never would have tried. You never would have taken the first steps into the unknown, which is a definition of increasing our awareness, right? Remember in the last video, we're living here, we have awareness here, we can increase this, we can let go of this, transcendence, we can let go of this, and now we're the seat of awareness, and now we're at a point where we can just examine our life. We've been, remember everything, guys? We were zoomed in really close, and now we're out here, and now we can take a look at everything, right? Now we can evaluate. Now we can problem solve, okay? And then you take another step back, and now you're in the seat of consciousness. And you are the experiencer. You are the one who experiences. Remember, who hears when you hear, who listens when you listen, who speaks when you speak. Okay? We need to eliminate distractions and sit in the seat of subconscious and let your definition of success and your purpose drive you. Let it come into your life, change your self-image, change your life, change your thought process, change your circumstance, change your daily habits. Change the things that you don't want to exist anymore. And if you're struggling with everything, that I just said, then I want you to just break it down into this. And I hope you made it this far in the video. If you're somebody that's struggling, I want you, if you can't even get out of bed in the morning, I want you to take it one challenge at a time. I want you to wake up and don't even move, because getting out of bed is the problem. So waking up is the first step. Okay? And you've done that. You've lived another day. Pat yourself on the back, you've done it. Okay? That's a big deal. Because my next 5 minutes aren't promised in this life, okay? So it's a really big deal that you woke up, okay? It's a big deal that all of us woke up, and we need to accept it for as it is. It's really amazing. So accept it as it is. Accept you as you are, as you lay there. You're fine. You're living, you are breathing, which means you have a chance. And are you going to take a chance? Okay? You've slayed one dragon, which is waking up. Let's see if we can slay another. Try to roll over out of bed. Just get your feet on the ground. Okay? That's another step. You've slayed another dragon. Okay? Stand up. Break it down into little step by step by step by step by step. And you'll find yourself at the top of the world one of these days. Okay? This doesn't happen overnight, because unfortunately this thought process has been programmed into our minds ever since we were little, right? It's kind of the matrix of it all, right? It's just this world that nobody wants us to believe that it exists. But it is reality. It is reality, and it's time we all wake up to this, guys. Okay, so I want to wrap up the video now, going over some of the highlights of the video. Change yourself, change your self-image, and you change your circumstance. Okay? Your self-image can change, and it can change through our daily input, okay? What we consume on a daily basis, what media you watch, what books you read, what things you do during the day. Okay, if your daily actions don't exhibit somebody of your self-image, then you know you need to change those daily actions in order to start programming your subconscious mind. And if you have trouble with that, write down your happy thought memories, go back to them and look at them and say, I have a good life. And draw from it. Draw the energy from those experiences. Energy can't be created or destroyed, so it's still there. That energy is still there. It just has taken different forms in you. Dig it up. Draw from it again. You tied your shoe. That is amazing. Okay, you learned it. Draw energy from whatever you can if you're struggling. Okay, you're gonna make it. I promise. You're gonna make it. And your subconscious is that radar system. You program it, and really take into account what that means. Understand that every second you spend on social media scrolling uselessly on TikTok and stuff, everything you see, your brain never forgets. Okay, and you program your mind with everything you look at and everything you listen and everything you read. So if that doesn't align with who you want to become, get it out of your life because it's poisoning you. Get it out. Delete the apps. You can do that. Take control over your life, friends. That's all I got for you. If you like the video, click subscribe, click like. Please share it with somebody. I think that's the biggest thing. Like I say, I don't care if you subscribe or like. Sharing it with somebody means that you have found something invaluable in it, and now you want to spread it to somebody else in hopes that they find value in it. And that is, that's why I believe that I'm here on this earth. So I would appreciate it if that would be done. So thanks everybody for watching. Have a great day. See you all in the next one. Bye.